Happy International Yoga Day! We thought we'd hop on and answer a few questions about our personal yoga journeys. And we would love to hear from you about your personal journeys so we can continue to connect more with you guys. So the first question we have is, what is yoga to you? What do you love about yoga? Yoga to me is magic. It is life. It really is a place for me to go to be with the highest version of myself, and it's more a spiritual practice than a physical practice for me. And it touches all areas of my life, from the physical to the mental to the spiritual, emotional, energetic, just all full circle. I'm just a total yogi freak. How long have I been practicing yoga? I started yoga in high school. When I was younger, I was a competitive gymnast and I was homeschooled for it. So it was my entire life. And I was really into it, and it was my entire life. And I experienced a pretty bad back injury that caused me to have to leave gymnastics and that life behind and shift into a new life that had me going to a regular school. So I picked up yoga at that time to keep up my flexibility, and little did I know there were much more opportunities for growth within the practice of yoga and all of the benefits that I reaped doing that. So since then I have had a pretty consistent practice, and I've kept up my flexibility from gymnastics amongst a lot of other personal, spiritual, emotional, physical growth. So it's really been a huge part of my life. When I was going to college, I really deepened my practice at Imbalance Yoga Studio. That is where both Shannon and I received our yoga teacher training certification. And that was amazing. We can do another video on that. And I really deepened my practice again, even more so when I lived in New York with that hustle and bustle life, just stepping onto my mat, finding stillness and silence, and connecting with myself amongst all of the chaos really did me well. I needed that. What is my favorite style of yoga? Vinyasa. I've always been a vinyasa girl. It's pretty fast paced. I love a heated vinyasa room. I also am drawn to a yin practice though, something a little more cooling and relaxing when you release all of the tension in your fascia. So that is pretty juicy for me as well on a good day. Where is the most wild place you've practiced? So I have two answers to this. The first one, I was in Times Square in New York. I used to live in New York, and on International Yoga Day, I think it must have been 2016 or 2017, they closed off part of Times Square, and all the yogis came and we rolled out our mats and we practiced yoga together. And it was the most wild experience. We had all the tourists around taking pictures, and New York was still going. Nothing stopped except for us on our mats. And when we were in meditation and silence, you still heard all of the busy, loud city. So it was pretty insane. And I remember when we were lying on our back and we had our feet up in the air, I looked up at my feet, and my feet were as tall as the buildings. And it was just, wow, like an insane experience that made me feel so small, and it was just so much fun. And the second place that I've practiced that's pretty wild is in the middle of the jungle in Tulum, Mexico. I lived there for about 3 months one winter, and I was able to practice all over the place there. They have beautiful studios, and one day we went into the jungle and we practiced, and it was very magical. Next question. What's your favorite style of yoga to teach? My favorite style to teach is Vinyasa. I feel very in the flow when I'm talking through the sun salutations, and I love how the class goes from cool to warm to cool down, and there's a lot of different diverse poses, and you can play around a lot when you're a teacher, when you're teaching Vinyasa. My favorite pose is Dancer. I love standing balancing poses, and I love balancing on one leg, feeling the strength in that one leg. And I also love in Dancer how you have to root down through your standing leg and rise up through your crown, and also, kick your back leg, and everything is engaged, and it's just such a beautiful, graceful pose. When I'm in the pose, I feel like a goddess, and it's amazing, and I love it. And my least favorite pose, I don't have a least favorite pose, but one that is uncomfortable for me right now is camel. It's a really intense heart opener and throat opener. So right now it's just not very comfortable for me. But throughout my yoga journey, I've had several different favorite poses, and then they become my least favorite poses. So ask me in a year. And why did I become a registered yoga teacher? I became a yoga teacher to spread the light of yoga. I think everyone in the entire world would benefit from practicing yoga. I think it's a beautiful practice that helps you get down to yourself, helps you know yourself better, create space in your day, create space in yourself, so when you face difficult or any situation really, you can come with a place of connectedness and love. So I want to spread that light, and becoming a registered yoga teacher will help me do so. And I think that's all of the questions for now. So thanks for listening, and we'd love to hear from you.
Hi everyone, this is Shannon. For those of you that don't know me yet, I look forward to meeting you, hopefully sooner rather than later. And I'm gonna give you my list of answers for the questions that we've selected to honor this special day, and also give you a little more insight into who Jade and I are. So the first question is, what is yoga to you? Yoga is a refuge. It's a place where I can show up on my mat and just breathe, be, do the postures that the more that you practice it, you notice this shift that it has, not only within the way that your body feels, but also the way that your mind feels. It gives you that sense of peace and relaxation, and also clarity. So I love that. I love yoga because it's playful. I can show up on my mat without judgment. Well, that's the practice that it teaches you to, that you will never do a pose perfectly. And your job is to just find the best variation of the pose, however it looks like for you that day. And yoga to me is also family. I've met the most amazing people by showing up into yoga studios, showing up to festivals, just showing up on my mat anywhere in the world. It's a pretty universal practice. Our next question is, why do you love yoga? I love everything about yoga. I love the entire sequence, how it's not just one. I'm not just showing up to do a physical workout, even though that's a big part of it, but it's everything from the breath work that you do in the beginning, the pranayama, the meditation, where you just get to sit and be still, and even though it's hard and it doesn't feel good and it sucks at first, when the more you do it, you really find a sense of peace and clarity. And I also love yoga for the people. I've met the most amazing people practicing yoga, and it's a safe where I feel safe and I feel brave, and I can be my wacky, weird, playful, fun, serious, contemplative self all wrapped in one, and be completely accepted and loved for who I am. So that's why I love yoga. How long have you been practicing yoga? I began practicing yoga when I was in high school, and just on and off, and it was mainly hot sequences, and it was intense, and I was going there for the physical workout. It wasn't until my junior year of college at Virginia Tech when I joined Imbalance's 30-day yoga challenge that yoga became a lifestyle for me. And it's been around 4 years that I've had a consistent yoga practice, and it's changed my life, and I love it so much. I love the people. It's had through the valleys in my life when things haven't been so great, as we all go through that. It's gotten me through it, and it's really helped. So I'm grateful that I can have a workout that also has a positive impact on the way that my mind feels. And it's not just one thing. So it's been a great place for me to dive deeper and just study and learn and love. What is the most wild place that you have practiced yoga in? backpacking in Yosemite National Park. Being able to wake up in the morning, more than likely with the sunrise, knowing me, and just starting the day with a few yoga poses, maybe a few sun salutations, even though it was on the dirt and I didn't have a yoga mat with me. I love that I can do it anywhere. And it's also really cool going into the space aspect that I can do it in any space that I'm in, and it seems to be the perfect complement. Whether it's yoga and it's climbing, it's yoga and it's running, it's yoga and it's backpacking, it's yoga and it's hiking. It's really cool that I can take it with me wherever I go, and that whatever I'm doing just seems to be better because I stretched out and I did some yoga before and after. What is your favorite style of yoga? Hard question for me to answer. Don't necessarily know if I have an answer for you because I love a good Kundalini yoga class. The combination of movement and breath work is really powerful. I also love a power vinyasa class, especially when it's heated. And the more that I've practiced, I've also really learned and love to come to appreciate a yin slow flow yoga class where you're really holding the poses and you're focusing on your breath for an extended period of time. What's your favorite style of yoga to teach? Right now, it's definitely vinyasa. I love the entire creative process of designing a sequence and guiding students, guiding whoever shows up to my class, our class, through the journey. It's been a really fun thing to teach. It's been a really fun thing to co-create with Jade on our Thursday night class. So right now, it's my favorite. I'll get back to you when there's a different style I enjoy teaching at the moment. What's your favorite and least favorite yoga pose? So my favorite, I love me a good heart opener. So definitely wheel pose and camel pose have been two of my favorite poses recently. They're intense and they don't always feel great, but I love moving and breathing through them. Least favorite pose, honestly, tree. The whole balance thing is hard for me and it has a tendency to frustrate me, and I know that that's just a signal that that's an area that I need to breathe through and be patient with myself for, but it's not always fun in the moment. Last question. Cheers to that. Why did you choose to become a registered yoga teacher? To share what I love. To learn how to share what I love. And there's no place I would have rather have done it than back at Inbalance Yoga in Blacksburg. So thank you. Happy International Yoga Day, everyone. I hope to see you all soon.